All right. Good morning, guys. Good afternoon or good evening, depending where you are at, where you're located. For me, it's the afternoon on this Friday, the 13th. That shouldn't be a bad sign. So for me, it actually was a very good trading day so far. I can go over my trader weight here quickly. Okay, we can see ES pumped above the London session high. That's interesting. But as we can see, all my Apex accounts are up nicely, so I won't be taking any more live trades today. It's the end of the week, and I'm up on all my funded accounts this week, and Fridays for me are really about preserving capital, and especially if I made profits during London, I'm not willing to give them away during New York at the end of the week, because that would lead, very likely, more often than not, if I start losing now, so if I lose a trade and I'm back to break even for the day, then yeah, there's often time. Sorry, shit, I'm not talking on Discord. Sorry, Mike. Alright, so now I'm unmuted on Discord. So now you can hear me too, Mike. I was talking about Fridays, and that on Fridays I mostly work on preserving my capital. I made some good profits this week on all my accounts, on TraderVate today already as well, so I'm not willing to give it away, because more often than not, if I go now to break even and have a losing trade on one of the accounts, it's easier for me to get on tilt and, yeah, I don't know, take another trade, which is against my personal rules, just to recover my loss, to get back to my initial profit. And since it's a green day, I like having a green day in my calendar. I don't feel any need to engage anymore today or this week, so but I'd say we start with our higher time frame analysis. So if we look at the price action yesterday during the stream, we talked about CPI heading towards Tuesday's low. Why did we say that? Because if we go to our weekly time frame, not weekly time frame, but from a weekly perspective, if we measure from Monday's low all the way up to Wednesday's high, I wanted to see price hit the 50% level of that entire weekly range. It did that perfectly. Went a little bit lower, which is fine. I mean, you can't predict it to the tick. I wanted to see Tuesday's low sell side, and it played out perfectly. Up here, we had a very recent change in state of delivery. So we formed a higher high right before CPI. We broke below this hourly low and left behind this 1 hour bearish fair value gap. Eventually, we priced back into it with the 2022 model that we talked about on the 1 minute time frame. Played out perfectly. Retraced into a higher time frame premium to deliver into lower prices, also on the higher time frame. And once we hit that 50%, these equal lows on Tuesdays, which I outlined yesterday during the stream as my final target, we repriced. And now if we look at the hourly time frame, we can see that we're above the 50% level. The hourly candle is going to close in 2 minutes. So it's going to be interesting if we can manage to close above the 50% of yesterday's range going forward into the New York Open. Half an hour left until then. Yep. Looks about right. Let me turn off. If I turn that off now, everything disappears. So we have a 1 hour bearish fair value gap. We're inside of that if we measure the 50% of that. Almost at the same level. Now, interesting. So the 50% of our 1 hour fair value gap, what does it line up with? Our London session high, perfectly, where we had this drop the 2022 model, but I will talk more about that later. So we keep that in our mind. We're above the 50% of the entire range from yesterday. This is our 1 hour bearish fair value gap, our change in the state of delivery. on the higher time frame. But yet still, yesterday I said that I could still see Friday to rally back up after we repriced into a weekly discount. And this is the weekly discount I was talking about, below the 50% from Monday's low to Thursday's high. Repriced into that on CPI Newsday. I have really nothing against a continuation back above the previous day's high and some more buy side inside our daily bearish fair value gap. But we will see what we get with the New York Open. Now 10 seconds until this candle is going to close. Do we close above? Yep, we do close above. Nice. So here's our open. Where's my New York midnight level? Right here. Let's drop it down to the 15. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. I keep the chat open. Alright, so we swept Asia buy side. We swept the London buy side. Here we don't have much to work with. Where's the 8:30 open? We had 8:30 news, the Empire State Manufacturing Index, and the 8:30 open lines up perfectly with the open of our daily candle. So let's use that as a reference point, the 8:30 opening level and the open of the daily candle. Let's put that to the bottom so we can see it. Perfect. This is our current low of day. And right now we're forming the high of day. We took a sharp buy side liquidity. We are going to draw in our London session range. 2 AM started right here. 5 AM right here. Alright, that's the 15-minute time frame. I think that's all what we need here. Let's make this blue here really quick. Not missing out on anything yet. I wait for the New York Open for a potential paper trade execution from my side. Alright, Asia buy side. But we do not really need that. Now I drop down to the 5 and I will recap the London kill zone until the New York Open. I'm not really interested in price. We're pretty extended. I would like to see a retracement for a continuation or a reversal for sort of a seek and destroy environment today. Where's this line coming from? That's our 1 hour fair value gap. So yesterday, after sweeping the Wednesday's low and Tuesday's low, just like we anticipated during yesterday's live stream, we had a strong push back inside. We had a 2022 mentorship setup down here, but we did never get filled because, yeah, we had a nice little drop after we had this 1, 2, 3 push setup to the upside. 3 push setup, short inside the 1 hour bearish fair value gap, and we started to sell off. ES had a SMT divergence with NQ yesterday because NQ actually went back above the 8:10 AM high, while ES didn't. This is our change in state of delivery on the 1 hour time frame paired with the order block. And then we started the new daily candle back above Wednesday's low. Asia was a very tight consolidation with not lots of momentum. Let's see how many points. 7.25. So not that much really. We have our New York midnight level, and then at the beginning of our London kill zone, what happened is that we swept the Asian session low. I was looking for potential longs, and right here with the 2:40 AM candle, we got the close above the midnight level, which is a awesome criteria for a long. We shifted market structure, so right here we found a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We closed above it. We leave behind a nice fair value gap. And if I log in here, Let me log out of the Euro account. Come on. I can show you guys my executions this morning. For this long. Let's use the funded. So right here on the funded account, I got in at the low of this candle. So perfect fill. What did I get in right here? It's the 50% of this bullish fair value gap prior to the London Open. So this was 2:55 a.m. I set my limit order. I also mentioned it on Discord. So if we check out the Discord, you guys have to know that like I share these trade ideas, the trades at least that I take every day. I share them inside here with all the VIP members. Where is it? Yeah, trade ideas. Where was the long? Yeah, here, potential 2022 model into Asia highs. Before I entered, I shared where I'm going to enter. So this was at 2:50 a.m., still 10 minutes ahead. And I cannot give these signals 1 hour or 2 hours in advance because it's on a lower time frame. So yeah, my hands are bound. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 minutes before I take my entry, but I try to do my best to keep everyone up to date on my trades here on the Discord. But yeah, sometimes it's, yeah, here we had 10 minutes until we got the entry, or let's say 5. But since we're scalping on a lower time frame, you cannot expect a signal 1 hour in advance, because that's just not realistic. Like, I don't know what price is going to do in 1 hour, and especially not in such a small little time frame. So I hope you guys understand that, because on Twitter someone mentioned that he was a little bit too late to catch this move or the second one. But yeah, I wish I knew what's going to happen in the next hour. So yeah, short-term scalping here. I got in right here. I closed out with a 5-point profit. We swept the Asian session high, and from here on we cleared a short-term low, but we continued to push up higher. Took out the high one more time. We kept on holding on this bullish fair value gap here, which was interesting. Pushing one more time into buy side liquidity. And then right here, we closed below our most recent lower low. Closed below it, and that was exactly when I alerted everyone for this short model right here at 1024. If we close below, we could look at a potential 22 model short. So here you had like on this candle, let's say 5 to 10 minutes in advance before the trade eventually played out. I shared my entry and exit as well. So right here, entry 1 of the breaker block and inversion fair value gap at 4386, and a second entry at 4387.25. Target the 2 a.m. low and the current low of the day. So right here at 4386 on this inversion fair value gap, it's an inversion fair value gap because we closed below it. We have our market structure shift, and we have this little breaker block paired with it, the lowest down closing candle between these two higher highs. Our breaker block paired with the inversion got triggered, but on a different account. And yeah, then we very quickly ran down to the 2 a.m. low. We cleared that, and we left behind a volume imbalance. And this volume imbalance here from the left, paired with this bullish fair value gap, which initially kept holding support and delivered into buy side. Now we close below it. We continue to go lower, and this little candle here at 445 retested this bearish fair value gap, which was overlapping with this inversion fair value gap and those two volume imbalances. So yeah, from here on it was smooth sailing. I also pointed it out on Discord. Where is it? That's a low-hanging fruit entry. I think in tape reading I shared it. That's where I share my London analysis and New York analysis in case I'm not streaming throughout the day. Here, 10 points already hit. Price should hold here on 5-minute bearish fair value gap plus volume imbalance. Here we saw exactly that. This was our first entry. and lowest take profit. Yeah, played out very well. We did not come back up to fill this bearish fair value gap. That's why I like to get into a low-hanging fruit entry. That's what I call it. It doesn't always come back to the fair value gap to give us the fill. If you want access to these trade signals, by the way, there's a link in the description. And you also get access to non-delayed live streams and daily trading setups. Alright, this was pretty much London session. We delivered lower. So from our entry, we hit 7.75 points to the low of the day. And from there on, it's really up to you how long you want to keep trailing this trade. If you do a trailing stop loss like I sometimes do with market structure, would have been fine. Short-term high. Short-term high. Here you would have been stopped out, which is fine. So over here, at the new low of the day, low, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right here, we have a new bullish market structure shift at the new low of the day. So let's get rid of that. That is 5 AM, so let me actually draw the box like this. Market structure shift at the low of the day with a little order block. We leave behind a bullish fair value gap. We keep holding on that bullish fair value gap and eventually with news deliver back into a premium London session high buy side liquidity. I'm gonna get rid of these boxes. We won't need them anymore for the New York session. So we had decent opportunities today. Just have to see them, but eventually it's gonna make click and you see these opportunities like I do. And yeah, then it's just simply gonna start to make sense. But it's a progress and you can't rush it. I'm gonna log out of my trader weight because I won't take any live trades more anymore today. I'm content with today's profits. So open midnight, 8:30 open, 50%. We see that we are slowing down and we have 19 or 20 minutes left until the New York Open. So we will see what happens. And yeah, now is the best time to ask me any questions that you have regarding my little recap of the pre-New York Open session. Here we had our market structure shift, formed a little bit of a bull flag, picked up some stops right here. And note, we did not close below this low. Here we formed a high, low, higher low, higher high. Yes, we swept this higher low, but we didn't close below it, so theoretically not a bearish market structure shift, and we were fine. And continued up higher. I call this a quick liquidity or sweep or a quick run on stops, where we have our destination, but in order to get there, we have to pick up some fuel and stop at least a few traders out of their positions, which who very likely trade their stops below each swing low. Get them stopped out quickly and continue with the 8:30 open to our final destination. We're about to reprice back up higher into our daily bearish fair value gap. So now that we've done our lower time frame analysis, let's see what we're working with on the 15. Buy side, change in state of delivery. I wouldn't be surprised if we go back above the previous day's high. Right now, buyers. Ooh, let me think. Let's see if we have some questions first. Check out YouTube. Yeah, good. You're going to see what I'm doing. Open up Discord. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, don't be shy, Mike. Feel free to ask me questions. It's pretty much a one-on-one session here with you and Fresky today on Discord. It's Friday. We had a very profitable week. I'm not looking forward to take any trades anymore today. Fridays are, for me personally, capital preservation and not generation or burning. Yes, exactly. So 1 hour time frame. I want to see what we 4 hour. First, let's check what's new. Futures data from London Metal Exchange now on TradingView. Boring. Alright, so higher high, higher low, higher high. Theoretically, this would be our 4 hour breaker block. This area right here. This is a market structure shift week close below Wednesday, slow on the 4 hour time frame. And we also have a 4 hour bearish share value gap, but we seem to be pushing above it. I will wait for the New York Open. Right now it's 50-50. We could reprice into a premium of yesterday's range. Let me draw this in here quickly. We could reprice into a premium to seek lower prices and a discount of our entire weekly range. Maybe come back to fill more of this 4 hour bullish value gap. We will see about that. Or we've spent the entire London session and early trading hours of the day before the market open in a discount to reprice back up into a premium. But yeah, I don't know. Yesterday was much easier because we saw Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday going up. We talked about that on the live stream the entire time. Monday, on a bank holiday, we swept the previous week's high. On Tuesday, we swept the previous day's high. And on Wednesday, we swept Tuesday's high. And on Thursday, we swept Wednesday's high. And yeah, kind of a no-brainer that we likely go short on Thursday. We saw the live execution on the CPI news candle. We had a little bit of a pullback, but eventually we delivered into the outline targets of the Wednesday and Tuesday's low. What price is doing now, tough to tell really. Could be both. And knowing that, I'm not really, after we already had a profitable trading week, not really interested in trying to force something. If we go up to the daily and quickly get rid of all my lower time frame analysis. We started the last quarter of the year 2023. We hit, I didn't even draw this in. Let me do that quickly. We found a new daily bullish fair value gap, which is now also overlapping with, let me do that quickly. Let's go back to the hourly time frame. So we had a daily bullish fair value gap. I didn't even have this on my chart. On the weekly as well. Hang on a second, let me finish this. So we had a daily bullish fair value gap perfectly lining up with Tuesday's low and the 50% consequent encouragement of our entire weekly range starting from Monday's low to Thursday's high right here. So a very high confluence area, 50%, equal lows, Tuesday sell side, daily bullish fair value gap. And we just retested it earlier at 6 a.m. New York local time. That's interesting. Let me go up to the weekly. Let me turn off group 3 here quickly. Where's this coming from? Belongs in here as well. And this one as well. Let's hide this here quickly. So on the weekly, if I leave my daily fair value gaps on here, this is what we get. This belongs in the daily folder. Let's clean it up here quickly. On a weekly, we can see we're inside this weekly bearish fair value gap. I can quickly turn on my weekly analysis. We priced or rejected from this new week opening gap here. Kept holding this weekly bullish fair value gap, this one right here as well. overall on the weekly or monthly, we are in bullish market structure. We will see how we keep on holding inside this weekly and daily bearish fair value gap if we turn that back on. If we take a look at NQ here, so if I go to the weekly chart on NQ, things look a little bit different. Let me zoom out here. On NQ, we swept this low as well, same as we did here on ES. Right here, this is the low. Now we formed equal lows. I remember that was last week. But as we can see on the NQ weekly, we could potentially see a close above all these daily fair value gaps. ES is far away from that. And maybe even the weekly bearish fair value gap. So this is a interesting difference right now. So we can see NQ overall is much stronger. Keep in mind that we have earnings weeks, so earnings are coming out from the major companies. Today, pre-market open, we have BlackRock earnings, and I don't know, I would have to check the earnings table again. So yeah, overall we can see that the tech sector of the S&P 500 is really bullish, pushing through this bearish inefficiency. That's what we want to see. So if we get a close above that, target more buy side. We will see right now sort of a little bit of SMT divergence. We're still struggling to get past it, so maybe based on that we could also frame higher prices for ES, but that's just NQ. Weekly outlook, I will update that on Sunday, so stay tuned for that. Daily, let's leave that on. Hide to weekly. We don't need the yearly overview right now. Into the new week opening gap on the weekly. You mean this old one? You mean into 28. And regular trading hours opening gap. Yeah, we will see. I don't think I will engage today. So overall, let's leave the daily analysis on here and jump back to our lower time frames, because it should be, we're not that far away from the New York Open, and turn on the lower time frame analysis. And calendar week 41. No, we've got it. 15-minute time frame. This is the current week's new week opening gap. We have our daily bearish fair value gap. And let me turn on that weekly. That's the weekly new week opening gap. That's right up in here. Check my historical standard deviations. 0.5, negative 0.5, 1.5. Hitting 1.5 is pretty rare. You only do that on CPI days. If New York Open, larger than midnight and 8:30, bullish day. Not always, sometimes, yeah. Yesterday, for example, we saw exactly that, 8:30 open. We were below that at the time of the New York Open. Right here, New York opened up. We're below the 8:30 open and below the midnight level. Right here, bearish day. It's a good reference point, definitely. So it could give you, like, sort of a bias. If we open above, we look forward to frame more longs into next buy side liquidity on our way. Really be this one right here. And here we just have this pretty big bearish fair value gap. So this would be our buy side. Where's buy side? I'm blind. Top right. Who's sending me so many messages? Gotta mute that channel here quickly. That's hell annoying. Nothing. Perfect. Let me pull up the live stream again. Alright, 5 minutes until the New York Open. The highest up closing candle, therefore we could look at it as a breaker here on the 15. To frame higher prices. High, higher low, higher high, lower low, higher high. Yeah, but I don't really like that. We just keep that in the back of our mind. We swept this high, so old resistance turn into support, which at the end of the day is a breaker block. Let me quickly check euro. On euro US dollar or the 6E1, I'm currently testing a new strategy. This morning it played out really well, hit my 3-to-1 risk reward target on a 15-minute time frame. And that account is doing well as well. Ended up making more profit than I made on my 150k account. So yeah, that's funny. But that's okay. It's Friday. I'm up enough on that account this week, and I don't really feel like giving anything away from that. Because if I would, yeah, it would lead to me taking another trade, hoping to get back to my initial profit. And if it fails, yeah, then I'm in the shits, because then I start taking more and more and more trades and I start the gambling. And that's no good. Especially at the end of the week. You want to enter the weekend with, yeah, I don't know, a great excited feeling like, okay, this was a great trading week. I'm super excited for the next one, and not like, oh shit, man, I really messed up today. Man, that sucks. I don't know. I don't like heading into my weekend where I try to relax and not think too much about trading. So yeah, safety procedures. Been there, done that. Don't have to do it again. Let's see. Any questions on YouTube? No, but guys, if you have any questions, feel free to do so. This is some parabolic growth. Guys, let's not stop watching the stream, otherwise we get a bearish market structure shift here. That's not good. I want to keep that thing in the uptrend. Alright, 5-minute time frame. Slowing down, so 2 more minutes until, or 1.5 minutes until the New York opening. Consequent encouragement. I don't know, I feel like watching it on the higher time frame first. Log into the paper trading account. Which one? We're gonna go for the Apex 50k. Low of day, that's currently our high of day. 40 seconds until the New York Open, so let's see what happens. Don't have to really draw out these fair value gaps. I mean, pretty obvious that they're there. Next buy side liquidity target, low of day. So far we had a 31 point range today. Asia buy side. Okay, New York opened up. We kept holding off that 50% of yesterday's range perfectly. And we keep on pumping. So if we watch it now in 1 minute. Tough to get an entry. The only thing that kept on holding was this unfilled volume imbalance. But yeah, that works in hindsight. Head with that 50% of yesterday's range. So let's see what we get. We're back inside of our daily bearish fair value gap. The next real buy side on a higher time frame would be at 4417. Everything else, let's see, let me zoom in here. We have some short-term highs right here, like this one. That could be a target, but really I'd stick to the higher time frame buy side if we run for anything here today. Unless we get a fake out move to the upside for a reversal down later on. We will see about that, like a Judas swing setup. Let's check the regular trading hours opening gap. We can also see that we have a pretty significant gap right here. Yesterday we closed at 4382 and a quarter. Today we open up at 4395. So let's measure it out here quickly. 12-point gap. And similar to yesterday, was it yesterday? Wednesday? Yeah, don't remember. That's fine. So let's see what price does. Go back to the 5 minute, turn on our electronic trading hours. London buy side liquidity, Asia buy side liquidity. Our 930 bullish fair value gap right here on the 1 minute. Just want to see if price is going to respect it or if we maybe consolidate at the open. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like we're gonna do that. So just gonna keep an eye on that. Let's see if we have any questions. What do you think price is going to do today? Buy side, sell side, a new high of the week, so going above yesterday's high. Forming a new low of the week, so we would have already seen a high of the week yesterday. Or just general chop. Up, down, up, down. One, two, three inside bars. The fourth one now. 5 minute. 5 minute is about to close in 1 minute. So if we keep on forming a higher high and we get a displacement back below this low right here, we could be looking for a reversal. So it would be our bearish market structure shift level. Try to get in on a fair value gap, breaker block whatsoever. In this case, if we manage to close below the low, this would be our 5-minute breaker block. And we could try to get long from somewhere around this level after having repriced above the 50% of yesterday's range to attack sell side again. Maybe. But if we keep on going higher, yeah, we scratch that idea. We're not trying to force something today on Friday. Just trying to see what price has to offer. Keep in mind that we have that regular trading hours opening gap, which would also help with the short, the potential short. Let's just see. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're forming the 5th inside bar. 5-minute candle close, leaving nice top wick here. Yeah, I think waiting until 10 a.m. is a good idea. Unless we get this 5-minute structure shift before that, then I will likely engage on that paper trading account. Live funded accounts, they're done for today. I mean, I think it will clear yesterday's high. Interesting, we will see that. How much better can the day really be? Like, come on, or the week here on my 150k account. I don't want to give anything away, my precious. My precious. Alright, so another inside bar. So right now we're just consolidating. We haven't tapped this 9:30 a.m. bullish fair value gap, which is the last fair value gap since 9 a.m. So let's see what we do here. If we see a strong close below, this could be an early indication that we want to attack sell side. We also have these equal lows right here as our sell side liquidity. And yeah, pre-New York Open, we had this strong run. So maybe we would like to stop some of these long positions out. If we manage to close below it, which it looks like it's gonna do, I think sell side is imminent. Okay, we close below. We already retested it. If we get a strong pushback above now, this just confirms it to me that conditions aren't set yet to take an entry. Because then we're not respecting 1-minute structure here. News at 10 a.m. Nah. Ah, yeah, true. I thought it was 8:30. Nah, it's okay. Consumer sentiment is at 10 a.m. That's why I didn't get my calendar notification yet. Right here. I put them into my... Yeah, 4 to 5 p.m. True. Thanks for the heads up. 10 a.m. news. Level of composite index based on surveyed consumers. Actual greater than forecast is good for currency. Released monthly around the middle of the current month. There are 2 versions of this data released, 14 days apart, preliminary and revisit. And the release earlier and the... okay. Why traders care. Financial confidence is a leading indicator of consumer spending, which accounts for a majority of overall economic activity. Survey of about 500 consumers, which asks respondents to rate the relative level of current and future economic. I wonder if those are 500 random consumers or always the same, very likely random consumers. But it shouldn't really have too much of an impact. Those are usually that's usually the news event that fuels our analysis. So market makers and hedge funds or whoever is not sitting here waiting for the news and then they press the button. They have put in place their entire game plan for the news impact already throughout the entire day or maybe even week. And yeah, then what has been put in place is going to play out. So if you get a 2022 model before that, or something that lines up with your analysis, news is going to very, very likely in most cases support that. Especially like, yeah, consumer sentiment. Not always the case if we have FOMC or CPI news, because those are very volatile news, and market makers and hedge funds, they remove most of their pending orders, so the order book is very thin, very easy for them then to move the price, but not on a University of Michigan consumer sentiment report. All right, so we didn't respect the bullish share value gap, but eventually we got our push further to the upside. Not an entry for me yet. Our buy side, like said, is residing at 417.5. Check the 1 minute. Keep on going up with price. See if bullish structure is being supported here. Paper. Idea. I don't long in premium on my fund. 9:40 a.m., 20 minutes until news. Volume imbalance right here. Maybe. We will see. Let me go to the 15-minute here on NQ. So we don't have SMT divergence, do we? Yes, we do have SMT divergence because NQ actually swept yesterday's low and had a retracement into the 8:30 opening range, as we can see. NQ is already starting to push lower, while ES is pushing up higher here on the 1 minute time frame. Let me check the 1 minute here on NQ quickly. 9:30 had a quick push to the upside, but then NQ shifted structure, while ES didn't shift structure right here. Never went below this 9:26 a.m. low and actually continued forming a new higher high, while NQ made a lower high basically. But the only thing that's really interesting for me here is that we swept the previous day's low on NQ and we did not on ES. So until now, I'd expect this bullish fair value gap right here to hold support. Stop loss would be too big for me personally here, but for a quick 5-point scalp, if that's all you're looking for, possible. You're longing in a premium, so above the 50% of yesterday's range at the current high of today, which is not really, doesn't offer the highest probability, but still sometimes works out if we have a strong bullish trend, and if, of course, the trend keeps on going. Live stream, let's see. We didn't get the bearish market structure shift yet. We're holding. That's awesome, guys. Don't quit the stream. It's a bad omen. I think it cleared yesterday's high. Prices ranging inside yesterday's range. OTE. I wonder if it spikes up to clear yesterday's high this AM session. We will see. We will see, I think. 10 AM news. Let me mark this up with a vertical line. Much harder for me to make a prediction of what price is going to do. Yesterday it was spot on. And pretty simple with being at the high of the day, high of the week, high of the month. And based on the high of the week, already on Thursday, that's, I don't know, we kept on going up and up. That's paper trading. I was thinking what I was doing there. Pretty easy to claim the short idea that we're going to reprice at least into a 50% of our weekly range. This is how price likes to book price. And just because we had a bearish day doesn't mean we have to continue lower from there on. We just repriced into cheaper prices, a discount, hit our daily bullish fair value gap, and immediately bounced from this level. We retested it one more time and left price right here with a bullish SMT divergence. So there's reason to believe that we could clear the previous day's high. But right now there's also reason to believe that we're above the 50% of yesterday's range to eventually continue lower. So if we go to a higher time frame, let me get rid of these executions here quickly. We could frame that we, reprice in this entire 1 hour bearish fair value gap, which we just did, to eventually continue lower. Because right now, theoretically, we are in higher time frame bearish market structure. We form a higher high, higher low, higher high. Only if we look at the major highs, and here we form a lower low. Clearly broke below the most recent higher low. Now we pull back and continue lower. We could look for like an optimum trade entry of yesterday's stealing range. And if we do exactly that, ICT fib retracement, we can see that we almost hit the optimum trade entry to the tick. We're at the 61.8 fib level already. And aligning with our optimum trade entry, we have our 1 hour bearish fair value gap. So it's easy to frame both. Wednesday slow, why did all this shift? SMT divergence with NQ. Previous day slow. Random. And the rest is still lining up. So let's go back to our 1 minute time frame and see what we're working with. So this continuation long obviously didn't play. We closed back below our 1 minute bullish. Now we could look at, I don't know, price is not respecting these PD arrays. So here we closed above our bearish one. Yeah, that's just a confirmation, and very likely we see both indices doing different things. Yeah, we have SMT divergence now at the highs between ES and NQ right here. Choppy chop. SMT divergence at the lows, so yeah, better to wait until after news. Let's see if also on the 5 minute this would be our market structure shift level. No, not really. Only on the 1 minute time frame, and we do not have a 5 minute bearish fair value gap anywhere. So let's see. High, low, higher high with SMT divergence. Potential for a higher low, but therefore we have to break back above this high. If we break below this low right here, we have a lower time frame market structure shift. This would be our higher time frame market structure shift, the sell side with this equal low. So far the inversion fair value gap is kind of holding up nicely. Inversion fair value gap because we closed below it. Retested it, repriced it, and rejected. But if we keep on pushing now back above it, it's just one of these signatures that you don't want to see. I don't think during this news event you get a thin order book. You only get those during CPI, NFP especially, FOMC news events, the big ones, not a University of Michigan study survey that's being released once per month. It's like the unemployment claims. It's nothing major. unemployment claims are being released every Thursday. The word's not gonna change around the unemployment claims news. It's an important metric, don't get me wrong, but yeah, most of the time these news events are being used to fuel the setup that has already been put in place. Because they already know what the news is going to do. They already see that report. They're not sitting there refreshing the Forex Factory page. Waiting for the news report to be dropped and then, okay, guys, let's go short. It's good for the currency. They know what's happening. They put in place their setup before. Okay, so we closed back above, just not the signature that I would want to see to even consider engaging on the paper trading account. So right now, just best to sit out. Let me check euro. Nothing new. Nope, still didn't break the high. I'm gonna set an alert for this. I don't like watching at both charts at the same time. I like to keep it simple. I only need the most important information. Friday the 13th. I forgot about that. It's the 13th. True. Jason is coming out today. For all the naughty traders that blow their accounts on Friday the 13th. Because they don't stick to their rules. So I suggest you don't. Oh my, oh my. I know that Freshky had a very good trading week. I know that I had a very good trading week. How about everyone else, Mike, Kryptonaut? You don't have to answer, of course, if you don't want to share that. But if you want, feel free to. And also for all the other YouTube viewers. How was your trading week? Did you end up in profit? Oh no, we got the market structure shift. Did you end up in profit or yeah, little bits in drawdown today? Did you end up blowing your account? You don't have to share it, of course, if it's a topic that triggers some emotions. Yeah, well, that wasn't really smart. Profit, nice, Kryptonut. Using ICT-Concepts or a different strategy or watching the live stream? I've seen you in here recently. That's nice to hear. ICT and watching, awesome. That's nice to hear. It's okay, Mikey. No profits. Does no profit means losses or just break even overall? Trust me, I do have bad weeks as well. Freshky knows about it. Definitely. Being in cash is a position, exactly. Running out of cash. It's like a scuba diver running out of air. Underwater. Doesn't work really well. Break even week, perfect. Breaking even is also, yeah, not losing, and not losing is making profit, so that's great. Can't always win. I don't trade gold at all. I only trade ES. Only ES. And recently I got myself a new Apex 50k account where I'm testing a strategy that I've been looking at with a friend of mine who's also on the Discord server, and we sort of try to build a higher time frame strategy based on some other concepts that we found on YouTube. Not really ICT, but kind of like ICT. 4 hour and 15-minute time frame. Then on the 15 we look for our entry. And this morning right here, during the London session, we swept a fractal high. This is really what we're looking for. And we kept on going higher. So this candle swept. And then I placed my sell stop order right below the low. But the next candle kept on going higher. Moved my sell stop order to this low. Next candle also kept on going higher. And then I simply moved my sell stop order right here. Essentially also a 2022 model, but with a different entry style. That's what I really liked about the strategy. And it's a fixed 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. You look for your higher time frame for our bias, and then you execute on the 15, which is really chill. And yeah, this morning it played out really well. Hit the 3-to-1 risk to reward. I think earlier this week I also had a loss. Let's see for a valid long. I'm looking for longs now based on a 4-hour time frame. We would like to see this low being swept, but then we would also break the 4-hour range and blah blah blah. It's not the easiest thing to explain, so I won't even bother with it. But if it works and I manage to pass the account, I will make a YouTube video about it. Do you trade gold, Mike? Or what do you trade? I had a huge loss on Monday's Asian session. Monday Asian session means you either have to be on the Asian continent or in Australia to be able to trade Asia. Interesting. I don't trade Asian session. I used to when I was still living in Australia, but I don't like the low volume and volatility. London is perfect for me. New York is almost a little bit too quick sometimes. And New York sometimes forces you to be on the 1-minute time frame, which I do not really like. So huge loss on Monday, Asian session for the week. And I don't know if I should trade today. Only engage if you see a high quality setups where you can check all of your boxes. If you get a A+ setup, it'd be almost stupid to not take it. But if not, then just sit here and watch. We trade Asia. When do we trade Asia, Fresky? Yeah. We trade from 2 a.m. But 2 a.m. is for me when Frankfurt, the German stock market, is opening up. And that's outweighing the Asian volume and everything. That's why we usually at 2 a.m. get that initial spike up. And then we have that pre-London Open volatility. Then London opens up. That's not for me. That's not the Asian session for me anymore. It's, if anything, the crossover section. But yeah, it's the London kill zone. But yeah, theoretically. Because then you could also say you trade the London kill zone until, or London session. When is London closing? I think somewhere inside the New York session, like 9 a.m. New York or 10 a.m. I don't even know. One p.m. Yeah, look. Interesting. So really all we trade is London session. From 2 a.m. until 1 p.m. Yeah, exactly. That's I have the same. I don't really want to call it issue. That's why, yeah, if you made profits and you only have that one funded account, be content. You can still do paper trading for the experience and for the learning process. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like making profits during London and giving it away unless I have a accounts. I used to have that because now they're all funded, and yeah, I already traded on all of them, and I blew one account on earlier this week. So well, that's gone. I gotta get a new one, but with a different company, likely Take Profit Trader. Yeah, used to have a specific account for the London session and New York session, so I could keep those things separate. Here goes the 10 a.m. news. No, and Q didn't make a new higher high. Michigan University. Come on. Alright, seems like we're gonna get our market structure shift. If we close below 5 minute. So we swept internal sell side liquidity now. Let's see what's happening. Didn't close below. This could just be a quick run on stops to continue to deliver higher in case our final destination is 4418. We just, yeah, had a little stop at the servo, picked up some fuel to continue our run back up. And keep in mind, we would have just tapped our, would we? Yeah, London session breaker block. Let's see, so no 1 minute fair value gap. We reprice immediately. Let's wait for the 5 minute to close. Come on, do something. Yeah, if your bias is bullish, then that's what you want to see. Price sweeping some lows, put in some structure, even though the 1 minute is not offering the best structure right here on ES. We could take a quick peek at NQ. NQ did essentially the same thing. No fair value gaps to work with, so really or just job right here. London session was much cleaner to trade, and even the 6 a.m. New York time reversal. Bum, market structure shift, fair value gap, boom up. So right here, like it's looks like it's preparing, cooking up a storm. See what's gonna happen. The 6E broke the low at 10 a.m. Let's yeah. Good morning, Agent Smith. I assume you're already in big time profits. Because every time you join, you're in big time profits. Let's see if we get to close below our low. Yeah, knew it. See? 2,700 in total for the week, for the day, for the minute. I don't know. Give me some context. Today. Oh, nice. Agent Smith has a very different, not very different approach, but his very own unique trading approach, and it's working for him. So, yeah. Across all funded accounts, or yeah, I guess so. Or so let's see who's winning the arm wrestling battle. For me, that's gonna be 1,250. Yeah, I lose. That's fine. Now, I would really have issues giving away any of the London profits that were so clean and simple. I shared both of them on Discord in the trade ideas section. $0 today I win. Yeah, well, still a win. You didn't lose. No. At the beginning of the stream, we talked about the London session setups. Here at the very beginning of the London session, right here at 240, we had this pump above this most recent lower high, and I sent it out to all the Discord VIP members that we have a potential 2022 model going into the London Open, same as we did have yesterday, I think. Also shared it there, and I placed my limit order. Hang on, that's actually worth showing here. Nothing's happening so far, so log out of the paper trading here quickly and jump in on the Apex accounts. Yeah, this one. And turn on the executions. Right here, I mentioned that I'm going to enter on this bullish fair value gap. We got our break above the midnight level. We have the Asian buy side liquidity untapped, and I placed my limit at the 50% of this bullish fair value gap right here. And I got filled with, yeah, like usually, price has to go below my entry level one tick, but sometimes, yeah, you get these with Apex and, yeah, future funding firms, I'd say in general, or futures in general, these 0 tick drawdown entries, where it just hits your level and you still manage to get filled. And then I secured after 5 points. And then we continued, but we obviously failed to push up higher. And then we saw this bullish market structure shift. So we kept on making a high, a low, a higher high. Right here, we didn't close below, so no market structure shift right here. We only swept this low to continue to go back into buy side. Formed a new higher high, higher low, and a higher high. Model short, let me check. And then we got in on the inversion fair value gap. All that has been shown on Discord. But Freshkey is telling me that we get a model short. Yes, we closed below this low. And we're already running. So let's see, the only fair value gap that we really have available to enter on this potential 2022 model is this tiny little one. So I would more focus on this breaker block. This is our breaker block for the model. Ooh, okay, so here we have our fair value gap that's aligned with the breaker block. Check the 5-minute time frame. The 5-minute didn't close just yet. We could still be bouncing off the London bullish breaker block. Let's see if we get filled. So we're filled on our paper trade. We closed even below
order filled.
Side liquidity. Thanks straight away for letting me know. If we push back higher into this breaker block, I'd add a little bit. This is not financial advice, and it's Friday. There's a reason I'm not taking it on my funded right now, because I'm already in profit for the day. And we kind of had cleaner setups during London. Not kind of. Pretty obvious. Let's quickly take a look at NQ, what NQ's up to. Bearish S&T. Freshkey, did you enter? on the fair value gap. It's the model. 2 minis. So nice. 5-point stop loss. Let's see how it plays out. Yeah, stop is crappy. It's too simple to get stopped out. It could be seeking a little internal high and already be stopped. So really, for the model, the valid stop would almost be this high, which is pretty big. To be safe. But let's see. We might be bearish enough so the 5-point stop plays out. Yeah, nothing to lose. Been a good week. Especially for you. We filled in the entire 1-minute bearish fair value gap. We took this low, but we didn't close below it yet. Let's see, come on, let's get the rejection and continue lower. Boom. Next low is gonna be right here. Check the 5-minute. The 5-minute candle should close very soon. Let's see if we also get our 5-minute. No, we still need 3.5 minutes for that. Our 5-minute confirmation. The only area of potential resistance that I see is our London session bullish breaker. But so far the short's looking nice. Already. Little chicken. Yeah. Get out with 1. Wait for 5 points. 5 points would already be this low. Where is it? Let me grab an icon. Animals. Here. Just kidding. Let's see. I know the PA isn't great, but I like how we respected this bearish share value gap, and we kind of do have to give price a little bit of room. I mean, almost 0 drawdown from the fair value gap entry. We're back below the 50% of yesterday's range. Let's see. PA isn't the greatest, but the model is the model. Reversal setup, NQ. NQ PA looks really shitty. Here on ES, we at least have the bearish SMT divergence and a clean break of structure. Yeah, sure, fair enough. That's why I'm only executing on paper today. I think I would have also had paper hands today. Quick profits, in and out, and done. But let's see how far we can take this. So this would be the 8:30 opening level, and down here we would have the midnight. If we do have the high of the day, 4373. If the high of the day is in, let's see, regular trading hours opening gap should be around the midnight level. Yeah, 8:30 level. Could potentially fill this in like we spoke about at the beginning of the stream. and then continue lower. The entry came off the breaker block paired with this only 1 minute bearish fair value gap that we had available since the news candle. So let's see. Yeah, and overall sell side would be below this low and below this low right here. And of course the previous day's low. Check for the 5 minute. The 5 minute candle should have closed below. Okay, it's gonna close below in 15 seconds. Now it's wonderful. Earlier it was crappy PA. Yeah, today was pretty decent. We had the model long, 5 points, very easy. We had the model short right here, 20 points of our entry that I gave out. Inversion fair value gap right here, paired with the breaker, that's where I got in. Yeah, 20 points, easy. And today already, if we use the 1 minute time frame, so far 8 points. Yeah, let's see. Let me actually put my stop in place. Take profit target B. Let's see, regular trading hours opening gap would go over till here, 4382.25. Yeah, not crappy anymore. Of course, if it's playing out, it's not crappy anymore. But once you're in the trade, you had a very good week and you really do not want to give any of your profits away. Yeah, it's an emotional roller coaster. The only thing you have to, make sure is that you do not try to chase in after you feel like you left something on the table. And so far, we keep on respecting bearish bid arrays here, bearish fair value gaps. Left a new 1 minute bearish fair value gap. We filled it in and we keep on going lower from here. That's what we want to see for the continuation short. Curious to see what we do around the 8:30 and midnight level. My take profit target is gonna be, let's see, 50% of the daily range. Would take us not of previous day's range, but the current daily range. We're already below that, so yeah, really the midnight level would be my ideal target. So I'm gonna add a buy stop here, putting my stop to break even. So we hit a discount of our current daily dealing range. We did not hit any sell side target in the discount. If we continue to go higher, this could still be the AM session fake out move to the downside to continue back up. Later on during the PM session or on Sunday, Saturday, we're going to be a lot smarter. But right now, trying to anticipate this live, we already repriced into a discount of today's dealing range. We hit the 8:30 level, but we didn't really sweep major sell side in discount yet. Would be those two relative equal lows. Yeah, let's just see how winning prices to continue lower. Take a quick peek at NQ, what NQ is up to. Similar story. Let's measure our PD array right here. Also below the 50% now. I'm not gonna drop down to a lower time frame than 1 minute. But come on, out of curiosity. Yeah, interesting, but fucking get away from that. 5-minute time frame. We do not leave. Well, we have a 5-minute bearish fair value gap up here. We hit the 830 level. Yeah, let's see what we're gonna do around here. Yeah, did anyone get into this trade? Like with an actual, yeah, paper trade is fine, but yeah, on their funded account, because right now we almost hit 10 points off. Oh no, our entry was up here, bearish fair value gap. So yeah, we already hit a 10-point target, which is pretty good. Hit the 830 level, low hanging fruit target, or the 50% of today's dealing range. Played out pretty well with this breakup block, bearish fair value gap entry. H. Smith, pretty sure. Come on. Nice, that's how it's done, Agent. Awesome. Make sure to secure profits. We do not know how deep we're gonna continue. So secure some, or at least try your stop loss to break even, because if we really get back above this high, yes, theoretically it could still play, but first invalidation for me would be a close back above this bearish value gap, because we have already repriced it and delivered into the actual 50% of the current daily range. So if we manage to close back above it and see it holding support now, not ideal after perfectly bouncing off the 830 level. And we see exactly that. We didn't tap midnight, that's 830. That is midnight down here. Pretty sure at least. Oh no, that's midnight. Shit. Oh, I usually do it the other way around. I have this as a dotted line. Sorry guys, so we hit the midnight level, which would have been my target. I made a mistake here. So midnight is this one, and this is actually the 830 opening level and the opening of the daily candle. So my fault here. And I think we also would have filled the regular trading hours opening gap then. Nah, at least almost. Hit the midnight level. So definitely partial secured. Let's see. We're still in. We closed above our bearish value gap though, which is not ideal. If we now see support from this area and putting or leaving behind new bullish gaps. Now the regular trading hours open, oh fucking hell. The regular trading hours opening gap is still has a little gap left behind. So let's see, we just tested the 50% of yesterday's range one more time. We should be looking good. And if we look at our current daily candle, power of 3, this is what it's looking like. High, low, and our opening price. Yeah, let's see. So right now we're in, like said, this little bullish fair value gap that price has left behind. Ideally for the continuation of our short position, we would like to see an immediate close below that. So far price has been respecting our PD arrays very well. So we would anticipate for lower prices a close below that and not a rejection like we did right here. Because theoretically, in a fractal sense, we have a little short-term high here. We repriced into a discount of our daily range, 50%, right here. Lower high, lower low, higher high, we close above, we leave behind a new bullish fair value gap, and we seem to be bouncing off it. That's a new potential opportunity to go long. Leaving behind signs of early bullish order flow. Now, I wouldn't be too quick on closing the short yet. Put your stop at break even, secure some partials, make sure you get paid, and see how it takes you. A little bit more patience, I think. And Q also keeps on going lower. Quickly check out YouTube. Haven't done that in some time. No, not Twitter. Yes, it hit midnight open. And NAS hit 8:30 open. I had the lines switched around. Or not switched around, but usually I have the 8:30 open as a dotted line and the regular open also. And today I had both as a dashed line. That's what confused me. Alright, so we continue lower. The regular trading hours opening gap. Let's look at that. Be right here at 4382. So I'm going to trail my stop loss now into profit right here above this high. If you're in with multiple micros, for example, secure a partial at this new lower low being formed. Try your stop loss. We're already in discount of our current daily range, and right now we can't say for granted that we're going to drop below the London session low or the 6 a.m. low, because overall higher time frame weekly and stuff like that is still bullish. And yesterday we already repriced into a weekly discount below the 50% from the range starting from Monday's low up until Thursday's high, and we immediately bounced out of the zone. Let's see. Be modest, be content with enough. It's Friday. Let's see. We have a inversion fair value gap here. If we push back above it, be not ideal. And two little volume imbalances. It's all just 1 minute stuff, so but still after sweeping a low, that's what we wouldn't like to see. So if we now get that push, get stopped out in profit, we would have already secured partials down here and down here. EU is also continuing lower, means DXY is going up. Same for NQ. Check the 5 minute. Quickly hide all my drawings. Get a clear view.
Order filled.
LOL. Did anyone notice that I was logged in on my funded PA Apex account? And if so, why didn't anyone tell me? I wasn't prepared to take another trade, but at least I didn't know. Fucking shit. Thanks for paying attention. Yeah. Then I would have closed at the midnight level and secured a little bit more profit. No, but I'm content with that. More than 5 points. And I wasn't paying attention, I guess. Oh, far out. I thought, like, why is straightaway down there? No, I wasn't. Really, I really honestly wasn't. I was 100% confident I'm logged in on my paper trading account. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Kind of, yeah. Makes sense once you say it out loud. Haha. So how many points was that? That's why I was so chill the entire... Yeah, something around 5 points. I'm content with that. Yeah, I remember hearing order filled too. Yeah, yeah, interesting. Interesting. So if I would have known that I'm on my actual fund account, yeah, 5 points is usually my target for the 50k account or the New York Midnight level. That would have been fine with me since I already made profit today. Well, that's the first time. I wish I wouldn't have realized, man. Fucking hell. I'd be still chilling here, trading my stop loss, but that's actually a super great example for the live stream. The second I realized, I remained super silent, saw my mouse going over to close position without even thinking about it for a second. That's the emotions boiling up because now you know you're actually dealing with real money. And you're like, shit, I was not set out to do that today. I already had my win for the day. I'm done. Ah, fuck off, Witcher Frisky. Chicken. But yeah, I don't know. Before that, you saw me chilling in here, yeah, trading my stop loss, securing some partials, making the mistake, switching between midnight and blah blah blah. Yeah, funny. But it's nice to actually be able to see that on the live stream. So I'm glad I made that mistake. Yeah, I really wasn't aware of that. Huh. But the difference, I think it's crystal clear here today. That's funny. So the reasoning why I closed this when I realized I'm actually on my funded account, which I have secured my 5 points for today, then I saw I already made more than 5 points on a trade that I really wasn't intended to enter on. And then I thought, yeah, I secure what's available, whatever, like, doesn't matter. Secure it, get on, log out of your account. So it's not really chickening out of the trade, I'd say. It's more like, yeah, secure what's on the table and of course paper trade. We all know it. We are all the same. Like if you're on a funded account versus a paper trading account, on a paper trading account you can keep it running. Who cares? So we bounced off the midnight level here one more time. Let's check here with NQ. Kind of a SMT divergence, but price is really just bouncing around here. Funny. Yep, plays. Well, 10 points at the midnight level. Well, if I would have known I'm actually trading on my funded account, 10 points midnight opening level, 100% sure I would have closed it, if not earlier, because I already had a winning trade today, so it's okay for me. But yeah, fucking hell. Yeah. Well, I welcome it with open arms. And everyone else that got on the short, well done. I hope you have secured some profits as well. You can see right now, price is not really willing to continue lower, bouncing off that midnight level, below the 50% of the daily range. So yeah, if you're still in, make sure trade your stop loss, put it at least at break even. It's not worth giving away parts of your profits on this trade. Nice, H. Smith. Yeah, boy. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Keep that in mind. But you know what you're doing. I don't have to tell you that. Let's see. Any new things on YouTube? Nope. $531, not bad. So let me actually head over to that. Today 287.5. So here we have our market structure shift on the 1 minute. I'm just going to channel the trade here really quickly. No, not bullish, bearish. Bearish SMT with NQ. 1 minute breaker block. 1 minute bearish fair value gap. Let me quickly hide the daily here. I'm ready to go into the weekend. Party time. No kidding. But 50% of the daily range. We've got that on our chart. We swept sell side. We got him right here. Done. 283, I said, right? 87 even. Cool. 287.5. One contract. Kind of a game 2022 setup. Breaker block entry paired with a fair value gap. New York news. All right. Done. Yeah, that's just really crappy PA. So trailing stop wise, we would have been stopped right here. So I'm glad I secured where I did. Keeping going with that same paper trade idea. It is almost 10:40. We might just consolidate here a little before we continue lower. NQ also took that high. We close above, so theoretically we shifted structure down here. Low. But we've done that here before as well. So yeah, just overall a little bit choppy PA. We took what was ours out of the market today during this New York AM session, so I don't really feel like engaging anymore. Maybe this time really on the paper trading account. Yeah. Far out. Daily and weekly chart. Yeah, sure, I can do that. Let me first clean up everything in my object tree. Thanks for being so active in the chat, Fresky. I really appreciate it. Yearly overview, weekly and daily. But let's look at the daily first. So on the daily, well, I think maybe we get more later on during the AM session or PM session, but so far it's still an inside bar. We haven't left yesterday's CPI daily candle in the size of power of 3. Yeah, so really here on a daily, if we take a close look, this is a bullish market structure shift. We really treat the daily the same way we would look at the 1 or 5 minute time frame. We reprice lower, we hit sell side liquidity, we reprice into a 50% of our current range. So if we take a look at that, we could even look at the entire yearly range and see what's happening. Same way as we would do our analysis on the 1 minute. So this is our January low. And this is our high. We almost hit the 50%, depending if you adjust for contract changes or not. So with adjusted contract changes, we should have hit that. The low of the year is right here. So we hit, hang on, we hit sell side in discount, depending if you adjust for them. I don't. But that's, yeah, trader specific. There's no right or wrong here. Trust me, I've been down that rabbit hole. There is no answer to that. So yeah, really, we cleared sell side liquidity, we filled daily inefficiencies. We started the quarter, the new quarter or the last quarter of this year, 2023. And right here, we displaced back above our most recent lower high of this little downtrend. We left behind a fair value gap on the Monday daily candle right here. We tapped into that yesterday. So I'm not sure if we're gonna see an actual pump out of this today already. We might just be waiting for next week really and see what's gonna happen there. So on a daily chart, we repriced into our daily bearish fair value gap. And if we pop that up to a weekly and turn off the daily analysis here quickly to turn on the weekly, we can see that also on a weekly, or monthly time frame even. I could go all the way back up to the monthly. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We displaced shifted market structure on a monthly. And what do we leave behind? A bullish fair value gap. And we repriced to the consequent encouragement. We already repriced the entire monthly bullish fair value gap. So based on that, we're already starting to see an interesting movement. We had a monthly opening gap. If we would like to remain that open throughout the entire month of October, that would be cool. Since during the first week of October, we have already repriced into this entire monthly bullish fair value gap. So knowing that in the back of our mind, going back to the weekly, looking at our weekly analysis, we see that we repriced into our lowest bullish fair value gap of this entire rally from the second quarter of the year. We hit a new week opening gap, like said, on that first week of the new quarter. But we kept on holding this bullish fair value gap, which is paired with this market structure shift level, and formed a doji. So kind of looking like a morning star formation to me. On the weekly, we have now pushed. If you watch the weekly outlook on Sunday, I spoke exactly about that. I'm looking for an upside expansion week next week. I didn't know it's gonna mainly be an upside expansion on Monday, Tuesday, and maybe also Wednesday. I expected it to happen later throughout the week, but it is what it is. We have this new week opening gap right here where we saw some resistance. That's why I had it on my chart. That's the only real level, paired with this inversion fair value gap right here. Why do I think this one is important? Because we kept on holding here on a weekly time frame once, twice, and then we closed below it. Once we closed below it, the same way as we would analyze a 1 minute chart, we closed below a inversion fair value gap that kept holding support twice. We would look for resistance. We reprice into it and we continue to go lower. This was last week. And yeah, then we open up with this big bearish new week opening gap. but we managed to push back above that, and I would like for higher prices really for this to remain intact, and maybe even a close above our weekly inversion fair value gap inside of our weekly bearish. We will see. Keep in mind that NQ, if we pop it up to a weekly time frame here, relatively speaking, has filled in this entire weekly bearish fair value gap. So it's the same fair value gap from the week of Monday 18th of September until the 23rd. Right here, Monday the 18th of September. So NQ actually went above the 50% and filled in this entire weekly bearish fair value gap, even when above. Hang on, let me get rid of this here quickly. Above it, above the new week opening gap and all that. So yeah, really curious. A nice confirmation here for the NQ weekly chart would be a close today above the consequent encouragement. Not sure if we're gonna get that on ES. So right here we see ES is lagging behind NQ here a little at least. But that's all I want to talk about NQ. And going now down to the daily, understanding that we bounced off the low of a monthly bullish fair value gap after having a monthly bullish market structure shift, being inside or having bounced off all these major key levels. New week opening gap, daily, weekly, bullish fair value gap, having shifted market structure right here, right now. Let me turn it on daily. This is our most recent higher time frame market structure shift after we took this high and went to the downside, which is a bearish market structure shift. But now right here, we actually managed to close above, leaving behind a new bullish fair value gap. We kept holding support so far, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a major daily candle today. We already had news. It's Friday, the end of the week, maybe a little movement more during the PM session, but nothing I would look forward to trade anymore today. So bounce off the daily bullish fair value gap after having displaced to the upside. Market structure shift bullish after having taken out the low of the month of June. No, but after bouncing off these fair value gaps. This looks rather bullish to me, and knowing the overall higher time frame perspective, the monthly bullish fair value gap. Yes, it's going to be a tough one getting through these two bearish fair value gaps that are overlapping with the weekly overall, but we will see if we can make it above that. So now we talked a lot about the higher time frames. Now I want to see what actually happened on the lower time frames. So here on the 15, we left behind a bearish fair value gap. We repriced into that and we immediately rejected. So let's drop that down to the 5. And really, all it is our breaker block paired with a 15-minute, high, low, higher, high, but a 5-minute breaker block paired with a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. So if we drop it back down to the 1, we had our initial, let me turn on all my old drawings. Yeah, just a little run on stops before we continue lower. So our stop loss at break even would have been fine for lower prices here. Funny. But very choppy price action. It's hard, especially if you're trading the 1 minute, to stay inside of that trade after seeing several bullish market structure shifts. Of course, yeah, in the end of the day, we know that our price set was pick up some stops and yeah, make it hard for shorts to stay in the market. Paper hands get out, like I did, for example, today. And yeah, we keep on selling off. We're below. Let's see, where's our midnight level and all that. Right here. And that's yesterday. Monday, calendar week 41. There we go. We're below the 8:30 opening level now, right here. Gambler. Nothing else to say. Disappointed. Fresky. But no, very well. We had our entry from up here. 10 points towards the midnight opening level. We retraced, shifting structure bullish up here to the upside, but this bullish fair value gap didn't hold. Continued lower, then consolidated, picked up stops one more time while shifting structure really once more bullish. But yeah, then it really helps to understand that the higher time frame is bearish. We had this nice little 15-minute bearish fair value gap. On the 1 hour time frame, we're inside a 1 hour bullish fair value gap right here. But we seem to be pushing lower out of this entire previous day's trading range. Maybe going to attack London sell side. Yeah, sometimes we do get that. That last retracement. No, I didn't want to do that. Let's quickly check out NQ. NQ also kept on selling off, but didn't deliver as choppy as yesterday, I think. Yeah, we're selling off. No, we did, sort of. Anyone still in that short? Just curious. So we could target sell side and discount. So Freshky, did you enter or didn't you know? Like, I didn't. I shorted. Okay. So yeah, that's what I like to call picking up fuel to continue towards its destination. But it's really hard to tell because we even closed above this short-term high right here, which really would lead me to believe that we shift structure here, even though we didn't clear any major sell side of this price lag, yet we filled the entire regular trading hours opening gap and we hit the midnight level. So good reason to believe that we maybe continue back up, believing this is our fake out move. So really tough one here, unless you entered like we did right here from this bearish fair value gap, with your stop loss maybe above this short-term high of 5 points, which really is too small. Stop loss should have been up here to be safe, but price has been rather bearish. We hit our midnight level and a 10-point target, which is already a 2-to-1 depending on where you place your stop loss. That's okay. And yeah, then this was just messy on the lower time frame. But if you stick to, even on the 5 minute, terrible. On the 15, clean. Like, hang on, let me hide all my drawings. 15, strong bearish candle. We leave behind a bearish fair value gap after shifting structure. We get inside here and we continue further into sell side liquidity. Did we already clear that now? Yes, we did. And this is looking like it wants to attack the previous day's low. Yeah, I agree. Like right here, the first entry was clear. The second one, not so much. It all depends on how you manage your risk. But yeah, right now it is 11 a.m. almost in 6 minutes, and we sell off aggressively. So we had this little consolidation before the real drop. And now we're just running. But that's fine with me. I hope some of you watching it were still in, having their stop loss at break even. But I am content with this week and today being really one of the best trading weeks I had so far. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Let's see if we have any questions on YouTube. Otherwise, It's okay to be wrong. As enough, we all are wrong sometimes. Part of our job. No worries. You guys are very welcome. So now we actually swept sell side, these two lows in discount. But I don't think that we're gonna reverse back from here. I mean, look at the hourly candle. We filled the entire 1 hour bearish fair value gap. That's why we initially looked for shorts on the 1 minute all the way up here. We got in short of this bearish fair value gap after the market structure shift. But this PA just didn't allow us to keep on trailing the trade. If we would have just sold off, yeah, man, that would have been the day of the day for my funded account without knowing I'm actually trading on my funded account. But yeah, after not hitting a random level, I mean, we hit the midnight level and we hit, let me turn it on here quickly, the 50% of our dealing range. And after hitting that, paired with a New York local time midnight level, I'd say it's fair to expect some sort of hesitation around this level where price is trying to, yeah, find out, okay, what do I want to do? Sort of like indecisive here. We had reason to believe that after going back into a discount, bouncing off the midnight level, having filled in the regular trading hours opening gap, shifting structure twice, bullish. Good reason to believe we could reverse back up to take buy side. Eventually, we didn't, which is fine. A good entry after we would have been stopped. Inversion fair value gap. No, not really. No, not even on the 1 minute time frame. A clean 1 minute fair value gap that we would have been able to enter on. We shifted structure from bullish to bearish right here. Immediate rebalance. We do not leave behind a fair value gap. We had a tiny little fair value gap right here, but that's the only one on our entire way down. So this entire price leg has been delivered efficiently. Then we started to leave behind fair value gaps, but we didn't respect them, or let's say not didn't respect them, but didn't fill them or didn't came back. Let's say, for example, with this wick, price was just selling off aggressively. Now it's 10:56. We're about to hit the 11 a.m. macro. And yeah, I think that's the setup for the day. I target London sell side. We're not far away from that anymore. And after that, the previous stays low. If you're still in this potential short, try your stop loss with you. Make sure to secure some partials and some profits on the way to the downside. And yeah, I think we had a pretty nice session today. Got the entry of the breaker block. Well, really, that's only the 1 minute breaker block. We don't even have that available on the 5. So for me, I prefer sticking to the higher time frame structure. And on the higher time frame, we shifted market structure right here once we broke. One last recap. Get rid of all this. That's why I prefer staying on the higher time frame. It's even on a 5-minute time frame. It would have been easier to hold through this because your entry actually came from the higher time frame. So we had our market structure shift bearish. After that, we draw in our breaker block. We draw in our breaker block. We do not have a bearish fair value gap other than this one to enter on, not even a inversion fair value gap. So entry-wise, it would have been rather hard to get in unless you take low-hanging fruit entries to make sure you're not missing out on a breaker block like I did this morning during London, for example. We went above the 50% of yesterday's dealing range, above the London session high. We displaced through it, leave a breaker block behind, retest the breaker block. Could have been like a turtle soup entry on the 5-minute. I don't do that personally, but it worked. Or even if you enter after the confirmation, like, yeah, for me personally, this candle tells the story. We clear buy side, recheck the breaker block, recheck the 50% of yesterday's range, and immediately reject. We do not leave a wick to the downside. Yes, we're still above the midnight level, but good indication just alone from the price action perspective that we could continue lower. And looking at the 1 minute then, yeah, the only fair value gap we had was right here where we took our entry. Got very close in case you hit your break-even stop loss. Likely if you trade with like a CFD or CFD firm like FTMO or the funded trader, whatever, or back in the day my Forex funds, I'm pretty sure that spread would have gotten me here. Like right here, if this is my fair value gap from the entry and price gets to this level again, most of the time you get stopped out with CFDs. But that's fine. We had 10 points available, hit the midnight open level, and from here on we will likely continue lower. Be surprised if we wouldn't. Not sure how we're gonna do it. We could use one of these many 1 minute bearish fair value gaps. We could simply use the lowest one to deliver into the London sell side. And previous day slow maybe later on. Keep in mind NQ has already cleared that previous day slow. And is now back below the London low and the previous day slow. So yeah, just keep that in mind while gas is still above. Could be sort of a six sister setup and we continue lower from here. Very simple. Or potential SMT divergence. But I wouldn't bet on that, to be honest. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for the stream today. It's 5 p.m. here, my time. It's Friday, it's the end of the week. I'm tired from the entire trading week. I need a mental break for the weekend and yeah, come back strong and better next week. Thanks very much for sitting in here with me today and the entire week. I will be back on Monday. We have high impact news on Monday, so that's gonna be fun. Let's see. Quickly hop on into Forex Factory and check out next week. Yeah, okay, Empire State Manufacturing Index, retail sales, and then we have on Thursday Powell speaking. Let's quickly check out what he's speaking about at the Economic Club of New York. As head of the central bank, blah blah blah. Yeah, but I don't think that he's gonna drop the bomb speaking at the Economic Club of New York when we have the FOMC news event coming in during November. I think early November, first week of November. So yeah, I don't think that it's gonna have too much of an impact like a regular FOMC event, but still it's Fed Chair Powell speaking, and usually the market behaves a little bit weird on these days. And as usual, 8:30 a.m. like every Thursday, we have unemployment claims, retail sales on Tuesday, no news on Wednesday, 8:30 news on Monday, nothing on Friday. So a low impact week, and then towards the end of the month, PMI news, GDP. I think we've been through most of it. And then yeah, on the 1st of November, we have the FOMC statement and press conference. Interesting. Paired with NFP. So yeah, prepare yourself for next 3 weeks. Next 2 weeks could be easy. Couldn't move that much because we don't have many high impact news drivers, but yeah, we will see. And yeah, take care guys. Enjoy the rest of your day and weekend, of course. Bye. No worries guys, you're really welcome. I had one trade today, or 2 trades during London session. They're all on Discord and I also shared them on Twitter already. and I'm gonna do a recap of the entire week, but not today. I will do that tomorrow and upload it to YouTube. And yeah, during New York session, I only had one trade of this. Let's see, of this bearish fair value gap up here. Breaker block, market structure shift on the 1 and 5 minute time frame, but I looked at the 1 minute at this point in time. We had SMT divergence within Q. We broke below this low. I looked at this down closing candle as my breaker block. We closed below, right here on this candle, formed a fair value gap. I placed my limit order right here. We got in, and yeah, because I've expected to be on my paper trading account, but actually it turned out that I was on my funded Apex account, and I wasn't prepared for that because I already made my profit for the day, and I usually don't like to trade on accounts where I already hit my profit target for the day during the London session and then keep on trading it during New York. I don't like that, so that's why I don't do it. But turned out that while being in the trade, I really thought I was on my paper trading account. That's why I was really calm about it. Made a mistake switching up the midnight level to the 8:30 opening level. Otherwise, I would have secured that at 10 points, lining up with the midnight level, not looking for much right here for the funded account. It's not the high risk one. So yeah, overall, then we had a little bit of chop here. Breaker block still kept on holding. Also the 5 minute one right here. Had a 15 minute bearish fair value gap.